Welcome to this edition of IAMPETH Inside the Penman Studio. I'd like to welcome today both Rich and Vivian Mungall, the owners of Ziller of Kansas City or Ziller of KC. And this is a business that basically caters to the calligraphic community, and we don't have too many businesses like that, so it's really important that we highlight them and find out just what it is they provide for us. Thank you both for being here. I appreciate your time.
Welcome.
Vivian, let me ask you a question. What was the history of your company? Because it didn't just go back 20 years.
No, our company goes back to 1895 when F.W. Penman established Penman Studios. He started in St. Louis, but his mother lived by herself in little towns just south of Kansas City. So he quickly moved the business back over to Kansas City and primarily was a pointed pen master who was one of the first people to have a mail order school. And by the end of his career, he had trained over 40,000 people by mail order. He did beautiful work, and he even did a resolution for visiting royalty from Romania.
He was definitely one of the finest criminal penmen ever.
Right.
Really
And
remarkable.
Stephen Ziller was a Zenarian graduate, and he got a job through Luffer.
Oh, okay, so directly from the Zenarian College, he went to work with Penman.
Yeah, Luffer recommended him, and so he started in with Penman on New Year's Day, 1933. He arrived in town.
Okay.
He worked a half a day, and then Penman took him over to the boarding house, tested the bed out to make sure it was fine, and he started to work. Now, today, if you go to work for someone, you expect to have everything supplied for you. But back in those days, you supplied your own desk on many occasions. You supplied your own pens and your own ink. And when I started to work for him, I had to supply my own desk.
Really?
I did, and my own chair.
When did you start to work for Tamblin was long out of the picture.
Penman passed away in the 40s, and I started in 1982.
Okay.
I had to supply my own desk, my own chair, which was kind of strange when you go out and think, I have to buy a chair and a desk to come to work.
So Ziller was actually in that business for almost 50 years before, just 1 year shy of 50 years by the time you came into it with
By
him.
the time I came in,
He started at age 21, and when he took over the business, he came out of Mankato, in Minnesota, off of the farm. And his allergies were such that he couldn't stay on the farm, so he had to find another profession.
Okay.
And so he chose to do penmanship.
because it was his teacher in Mankato.
Okay, gotcha. Let's talk a little bit about the products that you offer. You offer a wide range of products. First, let's cover some of the instructional books, because when we look at what's out there from an instruction in calligraphic arts, in particular pointed pen arts, you know, it's not too impressive. We have the Zenarian manual, and there's really not a lot that comes close to it for certain types of things. The only thing that would, in my mind, that I know if it comes to that level are your products put out by both Tamblin and Ziller. And so first let's just discuss these little tiny booklets that are out. And these are the at-home artistic pen work. Is a series of booklets that was done by Steve Ziller.
They were created by Steve Ziller. Steve has a series of 5 books. They're all about 32 pages in length.
Right.
And they touch on business writing, ornamental writing, engrossing alphabets, card writing, as well as offhand flourishing. They're inexpensive, but they carry a lot of detailed information in them. Business one, or the book, is the business writing book, and that would be great for homeschoolers too.
Mm-hmm.
So
One of the
he
things
wrote
that-
these in his basement.
He did.
He did all the artwork in his basement late at night after hours.
One of the things I've always liked about the Ziller books is that if someone was interested in, let's say, text lettering, but didn't have much of an interest in handwriting, you know, they can specifically hone in on one book in that series. And the price point is right there. They're really, this is high quality material. I've always said to people wanting to study in calligraphic arts and penmanship, you have to start with the finest exemplars, and that's what you find in the Ziller and Tamblin books. And the same would be true of the Zenarian manual. These are on the same level. So,
The other book that we offer is one that had been out of print since 1938. At that point in time, and when it went out of print, it was in its 7th edition, and that is F.W. Tamblin's, Frederick W. Tamblin's, home instructor in penmanship. It was in 2002 that we decided to start to work and republish it as the 8th edition, and we have added into it a biography, an introduction, and brought the whole package together. We searched through our archives within the studio to look for unpublished art that had never been published before. And so we've added a number of different images
It's not
in
just
the
a
back.
republication of the original book, there's more added to it.
No, that's true, that there's more than what was there. But what's really important about it is that the structure of all of the lesson plans are the original plans that Penman developed and perfected over his entire career, up through 1938, since that was the last time it was published. It's 182 pages in a nice spiral bound binding and detailed instructions in here. It's almost like when you're listening and reading these, that he's
Exactly.
talking to
He
you
talks
over
about
his shoulder.
cadence. He talks
Yes.
about cadence of how fast to form the letters and rapid. As you well know, I mean, when this came out, I was one of the most exciting times for me because I was so happy that we got something back out into the, and this is a quality publication. The great thing is it goes through business penmanship, ornamental penmanship.
What it does is it's going to give you the ability to create a good business handwriting, and it's going to give you those foundational elements that you need to carry on into doing the artistic or ornamental styles, because they're fundamentals for each are interdependent and intertwined.
And it also has text lettering in there.
It does.
Yeah, and just the exemplars alone you've included are, for me, worth the price of admission to the book. So wonderful, wonderful stuff. And that's also, now is that available through?
It's available directly through our studio. You can find information about it at zillerofkc.com on the web, and also through various other distributors like Paper and Ink Arts, Brendan Broadbent, John Neal Bookseller, and so pick one of these up, add it to your library, and you
I would
will
recommend it.
not be disappointed.
And let's get to what I feel for me recently has been one of the more exciting developments, and that's the reintroduction of the glossy black ink powder for making ink. So would you tell us a little bit about this, Rich?
This is an old formula. I suspect it comes out of the years of Tamlin's era. Steve Ziller kept it on and perfected it maybe a little bit more to his liking. Number of different ingredients inside of it. Looks like it's kind of a gray powder, tannish, whitish, but you add boiling hot water to it, and it's going to turn raven black. And what this particular product is known for is its fine hairlines that it creates in a pointed pen. That's what it's designed for, is pointed pen use. The broad pen, the broad shades rather, that pointed pen can create will dry to a glossy sheen, so it's kind of a glossy look. So fine lines, glossy looks, great for imitations.
Right.
And it doesn't eat your pen nibs.
Right.
No, it doesn't. It's
Well, your company puts out fantastic inks across the board, full color spectrum, and I think your formulation, not this one, but your other black ink, I remember testing it, how far out you can dilute it and still have intensely black.
Right.
It's almost like concentrate ink, but you can use it straight. So you guys produce wonderful, wonderful products, and I was very, very happy to see this come back.
Well, thank you. This is a product that many penmen, it's been off the market now for probably 12 years or so. And John DeCalabas, for instance, Bob Herford, they were really glad to see this come back. And so our challenge is to create a public awareness of a wonderful product that's been out for many, many years, and it's just being reintroduced to the current marketplace, and many, many new penmen.
Thank you so much. I'd also I'm going to post the actual written, what's called the URL for the website, so you can visit Rich and Vivian's business online and see about the great many other products they present. But I want to thank you a lot for coming and speaking with me. And you guys have a great business, a great store for calligraphers, and it's providing us products that we need to do our art form. You can't just walk into your average art supply store and get what we need for some of what you can get some of it,
You can get some of it,
but
not
not
much.
but not the specific stuff. I mean, this this is legendary ink. And, but it also requires skilled hands to be able to get those legendary hairlines and things like that. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank
Been
you,
our
Joe.
pleasure.
I appreciate it.